Yeah. Hello, everybody. It's just another hour to spend with Good Servant. I'm nobody, but I'm in a good darn mood, man. That's what I'm telling you. I had some good. I did have a good with AJ. It's rare I go on camera and all that, so but I did. I had a on camera talk with my friend AJM, and maybe that's something I'll do more often. I don't know. We were talking about trimming the beard, get going Hollywood, but it was interesting. There's a lot of little gadgets you can use. I don't know, man. These things nowadays, right? They come with these features that you never knew that you had, and it's pretty insane. Like you could really turn yourself into like anything, um, dinosaur or whatever, It's pretty weird. But yeah, I mean just another learning teaching moment, I guess, for just the climate of like what we're really stepping into every day as far as like the real world or um unfortunately worse than a microcosm of the real world is the internet, right? The platform on, YouTube and Facebook and these these platforms that are just they could be brutal sometimes, right? Because I have this problem, right? It's a character flaw in me, right? That I feel I feel strong. I get strong feelings for people that I like, like if especially if they have like a part of their personality that's like stands out or something like that, right? Like if they're really friendly or if they're able to hold people's attention, right? These things, right? You're like, oh man, I really like this person, And then when you end up in situations that are very superficial on the just on the surface, right? You're just like you think that everything's much deeper than that, right? Like you're like, oh yeah, this person would definitely give me the benefit of the doubt if this happened or that happened, right? So you feel free to make mistakes, right? But sometimes sometimes I don't know, man. Someone might get embarrassed or might think that you should have their back when when you don't know what's really going on, or I don't know. I don't understand really. I think that no matter what, right? And this is going to be the best, especially for like people in the chat, right? That have like any kind of disagreement with each other, right? Because we're a family, right? And so we have to be able to at least give each other a chance to explain, right? So like if say I misunderstand something Clutch said, or he misunderstands something I said, right? Well, we can always afterwards say, "Oh yeah, I meant to say this, and you meant to say that, or whatever," and clear it up, right? Or hey, I didn't know that that was real serious for you, or sorry, I didn't mean to talk about that subject, or maybe I should have thought different, right? Like there has to be room in a relationship, right? Especially Christian relationship, right? Where you can make mistakes, right? uh, go to each other, uh, discuss what happened. And if something's not egregious, right, and it really is just an innocent mistake, right, then it's something that both parties can accept or not accept. I mean, if it is that serious, then it is what it is, right? But nothing to dwell on, right? But a good teaching. It's a good teaching situation because it's real, right? It's like, what am I expected to do in that situation, right? What does God want from me? right? I can't make everything about Steven, right? Every scenario that I'm in is not about Steven being the star of the show, right? No pun intended with the show, right? But there's no there's no substance in that, right? There's no purpose in that, right? The purpose is, what is our agenda during the show, right? What is our what are we trying to further, right? Is that we're trying to get Christianity, right, to more people, and not only Christianity, but the right idea and the right descriptions and the right definitions of what Christian people are, right? Now, if I make everything about me or everything about our guest or everything about, who shows up or everything about the drama, right? Well, then what are we? We're losing the main focus, right? Yeah, those things are important. And, you know, and, we need to, not make things about us, right? Make things about God. Hey, what's up, Sasquatch? Let me say hi to everybody. What's up, Raven? How you doing? Yaz Will Soaring. Hey, K Stover. Hey, Deb. Hey, Clutch. Um, hey, Deb again. Just to make sure. Sasquatch. Did I skip anybody? I hope I didn't. Hey, Raven. I hope I said hi to you. And so, yeah. And so, that's the whole. Oh, okay. See you later, Raven. Sorry. Um, Yeah, it's about God's will, right? And like, look, man, I want more than anything. You don't even know how badly I want to fix this thing, right? That happened yesterday. So bad, right? Like, I can't even tell you how badly I want to fix it, right? To the point where, like, I'm over there begging forgiveness, right? And like, I try to think about like all the variables of all the characters in that whole situation, and I try to think about how much of that is my fault, And I'm like, I just want it to go back to the way it was, I don't want any kind of forgiveness out of that, I just maybe I don't know. I asked everybody what they wanted to do. Everybody could have told me no, and I would have respected it, And I don't know. I have no idea. I could have cut that into two shows. I was ready to round out anyway, right? It's like I don't know, man. Hindsight, I guess maybe I should have just decided to do it myself, close it out. But it seemed like everyone was having a good time, and there was a way to further that without talking about the drama itself. We were talking about Christianity, that at the end, and about these stereotypes that people have for us. That like that we use Jesus as some kind of scapegoat, and that's not true. We're grateful for our salvation, and we want to be better people, and we do work hard every day to be better. And I wouldn't be surprised if we weren't like much different than when we started this little mission or whatever, and I bet a lot of us are much different, I lead the most boring life ever, man. I don't get into trouble, you know what I mean? I just sit here on my couch and I drink my water and I think of things to say for the show. I do call a lot of you, right? Like I don't think you guys realize how many of you I talk to, And I want to talk to all of you, to be honest, to fit it all in. And I would, if someone needed to have time, to talk to me, I would work it out. I wouldn't fit it in. And I don't know if for the guys, I guess it's hard for me to ask the guys if they need to talk to me, but I still do that. But it would be better if you guys asked me if you needed just to chat with me or say a couple things or whatever. That's a hurdle I need to learn how to get over, right? that's a gender stereotype, right? Thinking that the men need less help, but that's not true, and so I need to work on that too, and the younger women I don't really help so much because a lot of them are in relationships, so that they have someone to take care of them. So it's just I don't know, I just try to do my best job, and I don't want anything from anybody. I mean, to be honest, it's just honestly, I just think about what would God want me to do, and I think that God is watching me all the time, and I want. Oh, did Mark want to go up here? Who's Mark is Sasquatch, right? I don't know where he's at. No, which one's Mark? I don't know who you're talking about. Oh, Mark. Okay, yeah. Did you want to do it now, or did you want to do it? Yeah. If you need to be on a roll to do it, then we'll do it now, buddy. I'll get you a I'll get you a link, man. If this is something you need to have some steam or something like that, and you got your confidence, then I don't want to blow that, buddy. Yes, I knew your name was Mark too, but I didn't know if Mark was also Sasquatch. I'm still learning. Sometimes I'm thinking three different things in my head. But I knew you were Mark. But I thought there was another Mark in there. That's why I asked. But yes, there's the link if you'd like. And everybody that I've invited here, or talked to, I mean, I have a level of love for everybody, or at least respect, right? And so I can't do anything but offer my best to, just my best foot forward. Now, if that's not good enough, I'm open to learning a better way to do things, right? I know that that God will bless me either way if my intentions are good, right? And my heart is pure and I'm really doing the right thing. God will bless me. I'm not afraid of that. So don't worry about like if it seems like I'm hurt or whatever or anything like that. Just if there's a better way that I could be, right? I'm a servant, or I'm a free man of the Lord, but like I'm a servant, and I've embraced that as my personality, as my purpose. But anyway, let me invite Mark to the show. Hold on a second. Let me click this thing. Hey, Mark, welcome to the show. How are you doing, buddy?
Far better than I deserve.
Oh man, it feels good to hear your voice, bud.
Right.
So how you been, man?
Oh, I'm way better than I deserve. Like, I deserve to be a worm stepped on and run over, but you know, I've got Christ, so I'm far
Right.
better than I deserve.
So is there any like particular thing you wanted to talk about, like testimony type stuff, or maybe like your journey on the truth journey that helped you out in your faith or anything like that?
um, we could do the testimony. We could do neat stuff in the Bible that I've discovered. Like you just
Okay.
pick a direction.
Well, why don't you go ahead and get into something that you think is good, whatever you're comfortable with.
Um. Okay. Well, we'll start with a bit about myself. How about
Okay.
that?
Yeah.
Um. So when I was younger and I was starting to learn about the Lord, my brother died, and he was 12 and I was 9. And my grandmother told me God took him. Well, then I wanted nothing to do with the Lord or God or anything like that. And I walked around with two middle fingers to the air anytime. Like, it was bad. So every demon possible got in. Um, and then later, I'm about 33 years old. Funny that. Um, I'm watching Chernobyl Babies, and this isn't for anybody to do this. Please don't. But Chernobyl's Babies and the horrific experiments that were done during the Holocaust. And I'm totally just it was very scientific, if I can use that word. Like, I had no emotion. Like, it didn't sway me one way or the other. And then this voice, and I can't tell where it came from, but it came and it said, "Run, don't walk, you don't have time." And I knew it was God. Like, there is no, like, if God spoke to you, you would know it. So I began to, and I went the very next morning because it was late at night and I couldn't sleep. Um, and my mom was growing lilies in the bed in front of the house. So I drank dew from a lily, and then I went searching for a church. And the first church I went to was a Baptist church, and the guy laughed at me. Like, I'm asking serious questions, and this man is laughing at me.
Wow.
And
It kind of gives you that feeling that, like, because like before you know any better, right, you think that everybody that's holding a Bible is there for your best interest. You think, oh, he's holding the Bible, he loves God. But sometimes it could be the opposite.
yeah, like, this guy was, he was some kind of associate pastor. Like, the man should have known what he was doing. But I'm asking about things in the law and stuff because I've just started. Like, I've started in Genesis. And he goes, "Well, you're wearing leather and something else," and just laughing at me. And
Wow.
I felt like, who is this man that is laughing at me? Like, he doesn't realize how personal I took it. But
What was
then,
his like, what did he mean by that when he said you're wearing leather and all this? Like,
like, from the law, you're
right.
not supposed to wear two kinds of cloth.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, I understand. So he was kind of like busting you out, pointing you out, and and it was uncomfortable, probably. Like, how are you supposed to know, right? Are you still there, bud? Can you guys still hear him? Okay, can you hear me now, guys? Wow. Hey, Mark, are you all right, bud? We can't hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, bud.
Okay. So he laughs me to scorn. Like, I don't really ever want to go back to this place. So I'm lost without a church, without anybody to teach me. And turns out 1.5 miles from my house is the only Messianic synagogue in Birmingham. Like, it's the only one in the state. So I started going there, and they helped me so much. Like, they were constantly, "Hi, how are you?" And okay, at this point, I'm wearing total leather. I'm in all black. Like, I look like a terrorist.
Oh my God, yeah.
but they don't mind. They're really cool. Like, I was invited out to dinner by one of the people. Like, it was just amazing. I don't really know how to describe it, but everyone I've ever taken there is taken back by them. Like, they get up and dance at various times, but they really get up and dance when they do the Torah scrolls. And
Yeah.
it's not because they're the Torah scrolls, it's because it's the word of God.
Yeah.
So it's not really idol worship, it's worshiping God and thank him for his word. Like, it's really
So
amazing.
what's the doctrine like in a place like that? So this is a synagogue where they've accepted Christ as Messiah. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
how is that different than, like, say, like a Baptist church or something?
Well, really, Baptists, if you look into them, they can be anything too. Like,
Yeah.
they can go from Calvinist all the way to not Calvinist. Like, um, and these people, like, while I was in the Old Testament, they were there for me. And
Yeah.
when it came to the laws, he was like, this is the rabbi, I guess you would call him, though you're not supposed to use that term, would say point blank, I don't know what law to follow.
Right.
And
It's so many though, right? So many.
right.
How would you know? Yeah.
Yep. But as I found out, it's Christ you follow, and love, everything comes from there. But I'm going through the Bible. I've gone through Genesis. I've gone through Numbers. I've done the whole 9 yards, all the way to Revelation. Still not getting it. So I start going back through a couple of the epistles, and then I'm put on Luke, I think it is. And then it hits me right between the eyes. Christ said, "It is finished."
That's right.
And
That's right.
the whole world stopped spinning for me for, like, 10 minutes. I'm going, "It is finished. It is finished. It's finished. It's finished. Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's finished."
That's right. There was a contract, right, where
Yep.
the wages of sin is death, right? You don't follow the law, you get death, right?
Yep.
He took our punishment. The contract is
Yep.
done. It's full. It's paid.
Yep. Yep.
It's beautiful.
Like, it blew me away to realize that all the sin that I have done and will do is already taken care of. He
That's
did
right.
it in advance. But and I can say it's because he loved me first.
Yeah.
So much that he took on one of our bodies and went through hell just so that I could be saved.
Yeah.
Now, granted, a lot of other people are saved too, but it's really important that people realize that it's for them.
Yeah. It's personal, for sure.
Mhm.
It's for you specifically.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think people realize just how rare we really are. Like, just how like there's probably not really that many of us, you know? Maybe millions, right? But that's still not a lot, right? I don't think, right? And it's not about people not being able to do it or people doing it better than anybody else, right? It's about people accepting the gift, right? The Christ has
Right.
already done for us, right?
Right.
Anybody can have it, you
Yep.
know?
You start
And
wherever you start. It's not like you're going to get worse.
that's right. It's like
And
it
I was
reminds me
about as
it
bad as
reminds
it
me
gets.
it reminds me of the parable of the field, right? Where the landowner's picking up all the workers, right? Like some in the
Mm-hmm.
morning and then
Mm-hmm.
some in the afternoon and then some at the end of the day. And they all get the
Mm-hmm.
same amount of money, right? You know, and it's like, well, no matter when you start working, right, for God, right? No matter when you start, you give up your rebellious spirit and you accept salvation, we all get to the same spot, you know? And that's beautiful, right? I can't hear you again, buddy. Mark, I can't hear you again. Is everything okay with your
Yeah.
sound?
You can
Okay.
hear me?
Yeah,
Oh,
I can hear
yeah.
you now.
Okay. I just can't let this stream out. Like if my screen closes, I'll be right back. It's just timed
I
out.
see. I understand now. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, that's like um receiving the gift. It doesn't matter when you get it you got it.
That's
Now
it.
you might get mad because oh, I worked all day. Yes, but you got what you agreed to.
That's it. Yeah. That's exactly right. And I think it's great that it works out that way, you know, like
Mhm.
that because it gives encouragement to people that are like, "Oh, okay, so if I start today, right? If I, you know, believe on Christ for my salvation and I start a relationship with him, I'm going to be looked at equally like everybody else. I won't be
Mhm.
starting from scratch. I'll be accepted day one, right? To
Yep.
what everyone else gets, you know? And I think
Mhm.
there's a big like feeling of inclusion, right, with that, you know?
Mhm.
It's always
Like,
good to start out equal to people, right? Because a lot of us either have had problems where we feel lower than everybody in the world, right?
mhm.
Real depressed, right? Or some people even have where they're even narcissistic and feel like they're better than everybody in the
Oh,
world,
dude, I
right?
was so that way.
You know, and it's like we're all
Mhm.
equal, really. You know,
Yep.
there's nobody better than anybody else, and we're gonna know that, right? When we're
Mhm.
incorruptible, it's so wonderful. I'm looking forward to it. You know.
I am too. Like I have two children. They're 11 and 12.
Oh,
But
good ages. Yes.
yeah. Oh, they so love the Bible. Like we're going through the Christmas story right now and stuff. It's a great time. Um
Amazing.
yeah, it is because we've taken the focus off the presents, off Santa Claus, off of all these things and put it right where it belongs, on the
Right.
Savior.
That's right. I mean, if I could do it all over again, right, I probably would never even have sent my kids to school. I just would have given them
Mhm.
a Bible each and said, "This is what you're reading, and this is what life's about." Because I used to think, right, like when, of course, when we're out there and we're deceived, right,
Mhm.
it's like, you know, you're like, "Oh, I love God, and He's a part of my life." You know, He's like this part of my life that I nurture, I guess, my relationship with God.
Mhm.
But then you realize when you know the truth, right? It's God. God is the life. Like
It's
there is
life.
nothing. There is nothing
Yeah.
else. You know.
Yeah.
And I wish I would have known that from the very beginning. You know.
Yeah, but I think God sets it up in a way that we have to go looking for him. Like he has these times where he's just, okay, I'm here. And we see because not everybody sees.
Yeah. I don't think.
And
Yeah, you're right.
unfortunately, it
And I don't
is.
know what decides that. Like is it because we are seeking the truth, or is it because we were blessed with some kind of gift, or it's weird to
It's
me.
a God thing. God has chosen us before the foundations of the world, and why is far beyond I can understand.
Yeah, there's nothing special about me, that's for sure. I
Mm-mm.
always wonder, like, why would he pick me, like, out of all people, you know?
Yep,
It's humbling, isn't it? Like,
very.
it's like I can think of, like, I could name better people than me all day long.
Mm-hmm.
And it's but it at some point it does feel like you're chosen, right? You're like, oh wow, like like
Mm-hmm.
I'd be in denial to say that it didn't feel that way.
Well, you are chosen. Like for some reason, you saw through it all. I couldn't tell you why, but you did.
Yeah, very
Because I
interesting.
know lots of truthers that have tons of truth, but don't know anything about God.
Yeah, I've seen some mixed up truthers, man, that believe a lot of crazy spiritual stuff, man,
Mm-hmm.
and they really think that what they're saying is real, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's like when they find out that this is not a LARP, right? That
Mm-hmm.
whatever they were told about what the Bible is wrong, because the Bible is, there's no doubt, 100%
Right.
true. Because if you read it, right, this is the
Mm-hmm.
crazy part, right? If you read it, it comes alive in a way that you can't fake it. You can't fake that.
uh-uh.
Like, not in that exact way. You can't like,
Mm-mm.
it predicts everything while predicting how people are going to treat you, while
Yep.
predicting how you're going to treat your family, while
Yep.
predicting. It's like God really puts himself um on a ledge, right? With, if all these things aren't true, then God is not real, and then they all are true. It's like the least likely thing
Mm-hmm.
to be real is real. And you're like,
Yep.
wow, a lot of things had to be lies for that to be true.
Yep.
And it's insane, right? Because, like, God is just like, it is just so amazing in that way that if you are really seeking him out and you see something like that come together, I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how people could say, like, one day, because we just recently had a brother that believed in God, right? And then all of a sudden didn't. And I've
Yeah.
never seen that before. I don't know how that
Right.
works.
Right.
And it was crazy to me. It's hurtful to me. I was like, man, can that happen to anybody? Like, how does
Well,
that happen?
well, chances are he never believed to begin with.
I thought about that, that
Mm-hmm.
maybe he was trying to deceive us or something.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, he may have really deceived himself
could be.
more than he deceived any of us. Like he's the one that fell away, not you.
Yeah. I just want everybody to make it, and I guess maybe that's
Yeah.
just you know, a
It's a
naive way
pipe
of looking
dream.
at it, but it feels innocent. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I almost feel like a kid in that way, right? Like I'm not realistic. I think that everyone could make it, and all miracles could happen for everybody.
And actually it can happen,
Yeah.
but it won't because darkness doesn't understand and can't comprehend the light.
Yeah.
So um this bright light comes and many of us go right into it. A few of us step back and look at it and then go into it. And then there are some that are just don't want nothing to do with it.
Wow. It baffles me, man.
Mm-hmm.
Totally baffles me, man.
And
And
it
so what happened after you went to this church, right? Like, these people are nice, they're dancing,
um
right? Like,
all right. I wouldn't go the very first day. It was like on a Sabbath, so
yeah.
I wouldn't go in. And little did I know, I was sitting on a rock. like a church was right there underneath me. But and then I did go in. Like after that service, I went back for the next one, and I went in, etc. Because it said in the law, you'll not carry a burden through the gates of Israel on the Sabbath. And to
Right.
me, that's legit. Like, I can't do this because of my burden. I can't go in there on the Sabbath. But the next time I went was Wednesday. It's not a Sabbath. That's cool. I can be there. Um, and everything kind of flowed from there. And during this whole time, I'm reading scripture. I'm like, and it took, oh, 4 or 5 years for me to get to where I understood what Abraham had done by splitting the animals and then falling into a deep and dreadful sleep. And then the torch and the great fiery furnace passed through the pieces.
Yeah.
That was God and his son passing through the pieces because we are not worthy.
Yeah. I,
Go on.
I just was asking if you were still there.
No, yeah. Um, but and I'm okay. Just a little backstory. I've had like 3 strokes. My right arm doesn't work. I've broken my back and my neck. Like these are separate injuries. Um, so I lose myself, or I lose myself when I'm talking a lot of the time.
Okay. I'll get it.
So
I'll get us back on track if you'd like. Whenever you need help.
right. Um, but yeah, I like
So
I went to
you were learning a lot of these like neat like Bible truths and deep
uh-huh.
spiritual. So
Yeah, and it wasn't so much the preacher, it was God was showing it to me.
yeah,
Like as I'm reading, as I'm going to this building, like God is showing me this is how it was.
it's so
And then
interesting.
and then and once I understood who Christ is, and we did the Passover afterwards, and the whole thing points at Christ. Everything in the Bible from beginning to end points at Christ. Like Bereshit is the Son of God will destroy the hands or destroy the works of the devil on the cross. It's something like that. Just type in Bereshit in YouTube and it'll pop up. And amen, the last word, is the Father's mighty blood, the Son. That's what it
Yeah,
means in Paleo Hebrew.
that's right. Isn't it interesting how just the first word means everything? Like the whole
Mm-hmm.
story is in the first word of the Bible.
Yep. And in the last.
It's so amazing, man.
Yep. And uh the names, the genealogies, like start with God. You have God, man, um, God, man will come down, teaching his death shall bring those despairing comfort or rest.
Yeah.
Like it will liquefy your mind as you start to
Yeah,
discover these things.
absolutely. I know Tom is very interested in those things, and anytime there's some kind of like code or equal letter spacing or things like that written into the words, right? Like I know he's interested in that kind of stuff, and so am I, really, because
Mhm.
it's those are things that are like extra little nuggets that are embedded into.
Well,
The
didn't
truth is already amazing, right? And then to have
right.
those things in there, it's like extra on top, you know?
Well, these are the nuggets that God said He'd put in there that we're there to mine out.
Well, didn't they also have like where each of the patriarchs' names, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the first, like, you know, well, in the Torah, or the first 5 books, if you go through all the patriarchs' names, it says, yeah, it's like, and it says like, you know, I forget what it comes out to saying, but it's like it explains the whole thing, right? With Jesus
Right.
coming back to be the sacrifice, the perfect lamb for us to make it, and it's like, I just can't, but I think we're people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really make the biggest mistake, right? Is when we put too much emphasis on this life that we're living now, instead of looking at the big picture, which is, you know, our life doesn't start until after this, you know, that this is a fallen place that we're just waiting to get out of. And a lot of people want to make it work here, you know,
Right.
or want to hold on to it somehow. And unfortunately, right, and this is the hardest thing to tell people, is that you're gonna have to let go of this place. Not only
Yeah.
that, but not want any of it. You know?
Yep. Yeah.
And
Well, we come out naked, we leave naked. Never seen a hearse behind a U-Haul or
right,
U-Haul behind a hearse.
right. A Hearst lugging some furniture, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would be. It's like the you know, if you believe the pyramids, you know, like people being buried with all their gold and stuff, right?
Right.
But like it's
But,
like to the point now where, like, even though there's interesting stuff about like how like pharaohs were buried and in history like that, right?
mm-hmm.
That we don't even know what we can believe and what, you know, like even out of that stuff, right? Like the only thing we can really trust is the Bible.
Mm.
And it's just like it's even though it could be true, some of that stuff, right? Like it's like,
Right.
okay, some of it's true or whatever. But how do we even know like what part of history is not real and what part of, because I mean they could have started us say at 1900 and something and just boom started giving us a new narrative, you know?
Right.
We would have
Um.
had no idea, you know?
Right. Well, the Great Pyramid was never meant to be a burial tomb. So, what's going on there?
Yeah, I guess they just make these things up and, you know,
Mm-hmm.
think that we'll buy it, you know? Who knows
Yep.
what it was? It could have been those Enoch's temples or whatever, you know? Who knows, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
And we have no clue, right? We can just
Right.
speculate and maybe we're right, but we'll never know, because here's the thing. This is the reality of it, right? Is that I believe that China is there, right? It's a country called China, right? I believe it's there. I mean, 99% sure it's there, right? But I don't
Right.
know that for sure, right? I've never been there. I don't know how big it is. I don't know how long it takes to get there. But there's a lot of people that are from it. So I have a high degree of belief, right?
Right.
But I don't know it, you know? And people are so quick to say that they know something, right? When they
Mm-hmm.
really don't, you know? And I tried to tell my mom this. I said, I know that the Earth is flat in uh,
Oh wow.
geometric orientation, right?
Yep.
But I don't know that China is there.
Right.
So hang your head on that one, you know. And I know that
Mm-hmm.
it's not. Look, I get flat Earth can be divisive or whatever, right?
Weird.
But we get to a point where, I mean, if you believe you come from a monkey, or you know, and all this other stuff, or if you believe that they would tell you come from a monkey and then give you a true story in between there,
Right.
you know, I don't know, right?
Right.
It's insane for them to say any of that stuff to us as children, right?
Right. But they don't put it like a question or any, they make it like it's reality.
Yeah, it's brainwashing.
Mm-hmm.
It's anything to keep us away from God. You know, if God
Mm-hmm.
says that if God says it cannot be moved, then it's spinning. If you know, if God says it's flat, then it's round. If God says that it's wet, then it's dry. That's how these people are, right? They're inverted,
Right.
and it's because it's just like the like Jesus story, right? It was, you know, supposed to be like this mass amount of evil people killing this one innocent person, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
the Hitler story is opposite of that, right? It's one evil man killing a lot of innocent people, right? It's just an inverted story, right?
Right.
And it's like, wow, why is that like that? Like, why is it everything always opposite of like God will have his story going one way, and the you can tell the devil story because it's the exact opposite, right? So it's easy to distinguish worldly history from, you know, the history of, like, say, the Bible or something like that, right? And it's
Right.
just, I'm not saying things are real or not real because I don't know what's real and what's not real anymore. I just don't, right? But
Right.
it wouldn't surprise me to learn that everything that I've ever known is not real, you know?
Um, I'm with you. Like,
Right?
if it's not written in the Bible, like, I don't really care.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, you know? That because that's the only thing I could trust, right? And
Yep.
that's what I've decided to give that's what I decided my truth is, right? And I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
put all my chips in that pile, and
Mm-hmm.
however it turns out, because not only did I accept like God as a truth, right? Like this is what I believe to be true. But after reading the Bible, right,
Mm-hmm.
I just started to love God, right? Like just
Right.
in ways that I don't ever want to imagine that He's not there. Like that would be unbearable to me, you know.
Right.
And so, you know, it would break me psychologically to think that. Anyway, I'm glad we don't ever have to go there, right?
Right.
Well, how about this? Let's round out, and then what we can do is we could do a part two tomorrow if you want.
Okay.
Does that
Well,
sound good? Will you
tomorrow's
come back,
Christmas.
or maybe
Um,
just the next time you want to?
After Christmas, because
Okay, that's fine.
I'm slammed through Christmas, but after Christmas.
But if you need me for anything, you know, you can email me or whatever, or I can give you
Yeah.
my number if that'll help you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do
Well,
that.
you got my
Um,
email. You
I
can
do.
email me your number, and I'll
I will.
email you mine, and
I
we'll be
will.
good.
Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you for coming on, Mark, man. That was great, man. I really
Right.
appreciate you sharing with us, and I look forward to you sharing more with us soon. I think that'll be great. And
Right.
so I really needed this because, you know, yesterday didn't go the way I wanted it to, you know, and I feel sad because I wanted to do that show with my friend tomorrow, right? And I really needed this. Thank you for coming on, and this was a good day.
God
So,
said, do it.
yeah,
So here I am.
right on, buddy. Praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace, and all glory to God. I just want to say that, you know, I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming out. And this was really a good day of shows. You know, I know that there's been a lot of kind of teaching situations going on, but you know what? It's real life, right? And this is what we're dealing with. And let's all try to stick together, try to be forgiving, try not to hold grudges with anybody, you know. Sometimes we're going to have to take two shots on the cheeks, right? And still love somebody, right? And that's just the way it is. And so just wanted to say that I love you guys, and God bless. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 o'clock.